All right, we are just, got it, thank you. We are joined by Wichita State head coach Paul Mills, Xavier Bell, and Harland Beverly. Coach, before we get going with questions, could you give us some thoughts on today's game?
Yeah, I mean, it was a 62 possession ball game, which is kind of what we were hoping for. And just at the end of the day, we knew that we needed to rebound at a rate that was hopefully under 40%, but definitely try to get them under 39. If you look at the games that UAB has lost, they haven't been able to control the boards. And, you know, if you look at their last 9, the other team has had more old boards than them. But they're 22nd in the country in offensive glass, and they were able to retrieve 42% of their misses. And that stuff just adds up, and you got to tip your hat to them. I mean, Yaxel with 18 and 14, you just realize the caliber of player. And I just thought that they did a great job on the glass, and unfortunately, we just came up short today.
Thanks, Coach. If you have a question in here, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. Right in front.
Yeah, Coach, considering where you guys were coming into Fort Worth, you look at the clock, 7 minutes left, tied game, spot on the in the semifinals on the line. Probably couldn't ask for anything more to be in that position, right?
I mean, you were up 2 there with 6 and change to play, and again, all you ask is that we have a chance, and we gave ourselves a chance. And you got to tip your hat. I mean, at the end, I thought Daniel Ortiz's threes, for him to go 4 for 7, I don't know what he finished in the second half, but give them credit. I mean, they made big shots. Yaxel got free throw rebounds, and anytime you're dealing with a player of that caliber, they made some plays late. So tip their hat to them. I'm just so thankful to our guys. That we've had 101 practices, and there wasn't a day I wasn't excited to show up and see them and challenge them and find a way to get better. But I'm grateful for all the guys in our locker room.
Right here in front.
How hard is this loss? I know you guys just played UAB just a few weeks ago, and you guys beat them there. What changed? What did you guys attack differently?
Yeah, one, I thought from a zone perspective is they would slow the possessions down and then try to extend them. We were in a lot of late shot click situations and had to make some one-on-one plays. Xavier was able to, especially down the stretch, in order to bring us back. And Harland made some in order to maintain a lead. But I just thought overall they were just extended and forcing you to make one-on-one plays. And fortunately, Harland and Xavier did. I just thought it was there. I know the second chance opportunities didn't necessarily equate to a huge margin for them, but what it did allow is the free throw opportunity. So we at the end, that's kind of what the difference in the game was.
We're going to go to the front here.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned that you guys go up 2, and then that 5-point possession, and then the turnover 3. I mean, that's 8 points. I think it was like 22 seconds. Just little stuff like that. Just like how much was that just a backbreaker? How tough was that to come back from?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into it right now simply because, I mean, these guys have heard me talk about fouling 3-point shooters, but, to have 2 of those situations there in the final 6 minutes, those are hard things to come back from.
In the back.
For the guys, that stretch that he's talking about there is like a 26 run to finish the game. Was there any, technical things that you saw there? Or is it just kind of just a momentum switch that you can't really explain, that they just got hot and you guys just kind of lost it for a second there?
I would just start off by saying it started with my turnover that led to a transition 3 for them. I think it was maybe a 1 or 2 possession game at that point before we hit that. So I just feel like I got to be better in those situations and everything like that. But I just think we didn't really panic down the stretch. We kind of just tried to stay together and tried to still find a way to come out on top.
In the back on the left.
Coach, I know it's hard because the season just ended, but how would you summarize your first year at Wichita State?
Very enjoyable. I enjoyed being around the guys every single day. What happens when you take over a job is you go into a locker room and you say, all right, how many of you guys are staying? And 7 guys raise their hand, and you're like, all right, I need to go find 6. And I can remember specifically looking at X when we went in there, and you have guys in that locker room. I know X is from Wichita, who are excited about representing Wichita State, who are excited about putting in the work. Harland was our first commitment, and so I just know that moving forward, we'll continue to have a locker room full of guys who represent Wichita State well, but it's a tip of the hat to how these guys have approached things every single day.
Right up front here.
Kind of going off of that, Coach Mills, how do you plan to rebuild going to next season? What is that starting to look like for you now?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you talk to any coach in the country, like that's a constant thing. You know, you're like, how do we get Xavier better? How do we get Harland better? You know, I can go through all the players in that locker room. So it's something that you think about constantly. And, you know, no different than any other program, we'll meet with all of these guys in the next 72 hours. And, you know, unfortunately, this is the last time this group will ever be together. And you have Dalen and you have Jacob who'll move on. And we've been able to sign good high school players. But, you know, as we get older, we'll have a really experienced team next year. We'll find the guys who can vault us back towards the top and win championships.
In the back on the right.
Xavier, for you, being from Wichita, you know, yesterday you see the pictures and the videos, you guys kind of celebrating that win. You watch soccer basketball. Does that kind of give you a glimpse as to what this program can be, and was that kind of a little taste for the guys in the locker room?
Absolutely. I think not just yesterday, though. I think this whole season, you know, it's been not what everybody expected, but at the same time, like Coach has said, everybody's come in with the right attitude day in and day out for practice, just trying to find ways to get better, and then just looking forward, knowing the coaching staff that we have and the group of guys that we have now, and just knowing that it'll continue to get better. I think that's just what's been exciting the most, for sure.
Right up front here.
Hey, Coach, I know the win-loss record doesn't always reflect, you know, how coaches value things. So, in your opinion, did you guys reach the potential with this group?
You know, that's hard to assess. I mean, it's, again, I didn't know these guys. You know, I didn't know that X was so gifted in his ability on tight spins. I didn't know Harland's level of athleticism. So it's really hard to gauge without really having a base and understanding. And then also didn't know the league. Just, you know, I was familiar with the Big 12 and what it took to succeed there. But yeah, you kind of understand the caliber of players that we have, and then you also understand what their ceiling is, and then you understand what the competition looks like. So you kind of gauge it and you move forward. But honestly, I just showed up every day and just tried to go 1-0.
In the back on the left.
Yeah, first one's for Harland. Just, you made a big leap going from Florida to over here into Kansas. Just, I mean, how's the experience been of the last year just being on the Shockers?
The experience was the best one I've had in college. I want to thank Coach Mills for taking the opportunity and taking a chance on me. I averaged maybe 3 points last year. So just for him to have that faith in me and really trust me like every day, regardless of, it was very up and down for me. I had games with 6 turnovers. Next game, he still believed in me. So I really appreciate that. I feel like I've really grown as a person. I feel like I got much better. I learned a lot basketball-wise as well. So this was a very enjoyable and meaningful year for me.
And Coach, just with NIL and transfer portal and everything now, coaches always talk about having to recruit their own players. Do you put a lot of focus in that in the offseason, or do you feel like the year together kind of helps be the pitch that you want to bring them back?
Yeah, I mean, at the end, these guys, I mean, other than Harland, the guys that we retained, I mean, I came into a situation where they told me, hey, you're only getting one player who averaged more than 4 points a game a year ago. And the rest of these guys, you don't know. And so, you know, when you walk into it, all you're trying to do is earn their trust. And the guys that stayed, they didn't sign up for me. You know, that was somebody else's choice. And Do I want to retain them? Absolutely. But at the end, you understand as this thing goes through and what the process is, and I want these guys to benefit. Whatever that looks like for them, I want them to be in a situation moving forward that benefits them and their family, whatever that looks like. I've been fortunate to be able to retain really good players over the years. And so moving forward, we'll evaluate everything individually, but I just, again, these guys have been tremendous the entire year.
Right up front.
Yeah, Xavier, I was kind of curious to get your take on just the growth of this season. Obviously probably didn't reflect in the win-loss record. So how do you assess the season as a whole? What's your take on that?
For sure. Just being an older player now, I do kind of want to piggyback off what Harland said and just thank Coach Mills for taking that chance on me and still keeping me around and trusting me and putting me in certain situations as the season went on. I just think there's just still a lot of opportunity to grow. I think we have a good young class coming in. Like I said, I think Coach and them will do a great job, building a great roster like they did this year, just bringing in the right guys to create the right atmosphere. And as far as this season, like you said, it didn't reflect on how we wanted to, but day in and day out, everybody came in and just put in the work and just made the environment something that you wanted to be around, something that you want to continue to get better with. So just that's all I would say for the season right now.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Coach. Appreciate it. And thank you to Weston Pletcher, your SID, for his help. You like that better? Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you.